Hello again, once again, with the Really platform. Today we have Alicia, owner of Dacha. Welcome you, Dacha. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to have this chat.
Awesome. We're going to just dive right into it. Since this is my second time, I'm a little more comfortable now. Alicia, tell us a little bit about you and Dacha, just to start off,
Well, first of all, I've been in Dubai since I was a little girl, around 7 years old. So the only thing I don't have here is the nationality and the passport.
Sorry, not too much, yeah? Then you run out all the questions.
Oh, you don't want me to answer too much? Okay. All right. So what else to say? Okay, I'm the CEO of Dacha Real Estate, which has been established in Dubai since 2004. So how many years is that already? 19 years, which I think a lot of companies can say. There's a lot of new companies here in Dubai who've been established.
Way too many.
Yeah, so I've been here for a very long time. I've seen many ups and downs. I have a team of over 70 agents and around 80 staff. More
That's
actually
a lot
now,
of
90
agents.
staff. Yeah.
Wow.
Together with the agents. So yeah, I think I have a little bit to tell about the market.
Awesome. Cool. Now, from what I understand and what I know of you, real estate was not a career you were pursuing using your education. I think you were getting into science and trying to become a doctor.
Do any of us pursue a career to become a realtor?
I don't think there's a thing like that, right?
Yeah, I'm training my son up to be a realtor. That's it. He will be the first realtor who wanted to be a realtor from childhood.
I saw his reel. That was pretty cool. I liked it.
He's getting into real estate from a young age. He wants to be on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, be on YouTube and real estate. So of course, I don't think any of us planned to be in real estate. I did study actually to be a nutritionist, a dietitian for 5 years in Canada. And the next step was going to be to go into like med school. But after 5 years away from Dubai in a cold place, Dubai has a totally different lifestyle. I think once you go outside Dubai and see how people live in real life, it's a big shock.
I like how you said real life.
Yes, I think it was a real shock to me. I had to do my own laundry and stuff. So after 5 years, I'm like, okay, no, I want to go back to Dubai. I don't want to pursue med school because that's another 10 years. And I came here and, okay, my mom started the business. And I know whenever I say this, people are like, oh, okay, she got it from her mom. That's it. But it's not true. It wasn't easy. It's true that I took it from her, but it was 2008, which was a huge financial crisis all over the world. Dubai real estate was in a rut. So many developers closed, ran away. So many real estate companies closed. So I actually started in a really difficult time. The whole company was around 10 people. So
wow.
Yeah, so I grew it to what it is today now. And of course, my mother was there to advise me and stuff, but it was, me and my husband, we grew it together. So yes, she did give me a kickstart. That's how I ended up in real estate. But I was only 21 years old, by the way. But then I grew it,
I mean, look, it's very easy for people to say that, oh, your mom gave you the company. But it's like, how people pass the comment that, oh, he's got daddy's money, it's all good. But then I just tell them that, hey, your daddy had the same 24 hours, right? Same goes with your mom giving you the company. Doesn't matter.
But I like to point it out because before I used to say it, not even thinking about it. I'm like, I took over my mom's business in 2008, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized what people think.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter. For
Their
me,
folks had the same amount of time.
Exactly. So
it's all good. It's all right. Cool. Did you have anything else planned besides either wanting to be a nutritionist or getting to real estate? Just before that, did you have a career in mind that you would not like?
I wanted to be a doctor, yeah.
That was what you wanted to do. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's still, deep down, it's still my passion.
What kind of a doctor? Just a nutritionist?
No, I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't get into what kind, but I love helping people. When I was a kid, I love animals. I wanted, to be a vet, but I'm like, no, I'd rather be a doctor. So I don't know, I love giving. I love seeing people happy, changing people's lives. And actually, I feel real estate kind of does that. Of course, it's totally different. I never want to compare medicine and real estate. But when brokers join my company, any other company, and change their lives, change the lives of people in their lives, it's amazing. So for me, this is what I love most about my job, is how I see people progress and make a huge amount of money, but to better their lives.
Nice. No, I've seen the love of animals in your stories. I mean, I've known you for a few years now, and I see that you have like a whole bunch of cats and dogs and I don't know what's. That's amazing. I myself am a cat lover, so.
Noticed that too. Your cat looks so much like you.
I don't know if I should say thank you or what. Is there any person in your life whose opinion matters to you a lot? Like someone successful, or someone who's an entrepreneur, someone you look up to?
Of course, like who I look up to is for sure my mother, and it sounds so cliche, but my mother gave birth to me when she was 18 years old.
Wow.
And from that time, she was an entrepreneur. First, they had businesses between Russia and Dubai. Then she had businesses here, which led into real estate. And my mom was divorced with my dad, and she raised me by herself with her own money. And then the same thing with my brother. So for me to have a role model like that who started an entrepreneurial career from an age when there was not much entrepreneurs at that time in Russia, to raise two kids without the help of any man, and till now, to be active, to be the person that she is right now is a huge inspiration to me. But anyways, your other question was whose advice I take. I'm also the kind of person who would take advice from anybody who's successful, anybody who's doing better than me, and even not necessarily, because success is different for means different things for different people. So even, for example, if it's my fitness coach, I would take advice from a fitness coach because he or she is successful in that industry. So I love to learn. I love to meet people and learn from different kinds of people, whether it's in my life that I actually know them or on the internet.
That's pretty cool. No, you should take advice from everyone, I think.
Yeah, so look up to my mom, take advice from anybody as long as it's sound.
Like they say, right? Listen to everyone's advice, take everyone's opinion, do what you want to do at the end of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. In your opinion, any successful leaders or entrepreneurs?
In Dubai?
Just in your opinion, in general. Doesn't have to be Dubai specific. Someone that, you take them as someone you look up to and you keep them as an entrepreneur
Well, actually, recently, when Aldar did the launch with Ryan Serhant and Gary Vee, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go no matter what, because those are actually my two favorite personalities on the internet. Ryan Serhant, obviously being in real estate and starting from scratch, and Gary Vee being huge on social media, which is such a passion of mine. So for me, those are the people I really, really like. And then obviously there's a lot of people in Dubai real estate right now who share their opinions on social media, such as yourself, Farouk, Firas from FAM, etc. So I think anybody who has a big business in Dubai, who is a successful realtor in Dubai, there's a lot to learn from them.
I'm glad you mentioned Gary Vee and Ryan Serhant. I follow them both myself. And I think Ryan Serhant has a cool style. But Gary Vee is just out there. There's no filter. There's straight up, to the point. I like his stuff.
That's what I like.
It's really... Even though a lot of people tell me that, like this, I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. I like his stuff. I've seen him really put his stuff out there, He doesn't really care.
I think this is what made you so successful on social media. You have your own style, you have your own jokes, you're not scared to offend somebody or to have this perfect picture of how a realtor should be, etc., which I think is also my style. I don't know if people like it or not, but I'm not scared to make fun of our job or myself or to make a joke that could be foolish for a CEO of a company. And yeah, that's...
I think if you get onto social media, you have to forget about people's opinion. It's not something that you can do successfully if you keep what other people think about you in their mind all the time. I mean, you want to please people who are important to you, so you do that. And social is just there to, as we all know, for reach at the end of the day. So if you're going to be trying to please 10 different people, you're never going to be able to put out anything.
100%. And I don't know if you were there at the event, that's what Gary Vee said. He said you have to just forget about what anybody has to say and focus on yourself.
No, sadly, I missed it. I was a little late on registering.
Oh, no.
But then, it's okay. If your agents or if people in the market want to be successful, could you put out a few qualities or skill sets that they should work on, develop, or try to focus towards, in your opinion?
You just said the key word, which is focus. I think it's so important. if you need to come to the real estate market, not thinking that this is something that's going to make you lots of money in a quick period of time and then you're going to leave. Because when you do that, what happens is you don't care about customer service. You don't care what you're selling to the client. You're just ready to push them anything to make a commission or to sell something from a developer to make the highest amount of commission. So I think that's wrong. That's very short-sighted. So point is focus on the fact that you're going to be in this career for a long time and focus on your goal, which I think should be to make a name for yourself here, have a network of clients who will recommend you to other clients. And for sure, from an ethical perspective, to only sell something you would sell to your family or to yourself.
Correct. And I hear this from so many agents in the market. Speak to them, they'll be like, yeah, it's okay, just sell it, man. The client's not going to remember after 3 years. It's okay, man. I'm here for maybe a 10-year span. I have to go back home to retire. What difference does it make? Make your commission, move on. It bothers me when I hear that.
For me as well, because I've been here in the market for such a long time. I never lied to a client. Whenever I'm like pushing a client to buy something good because it is really a good deal, I always go to James. I say, James, are you sure it's a good deal as well? He's like, yeah, because I truly care. I would never want the client to be in a difficult position. And I think this is why first of all, my company, Dacia, has such a good reputation, and I have a good reputation. My clients now from, 10 years ago are coming back to me now to buy or to sell or whatever. And I think that's the key, how to be a successful real estate agent for a long time.
For sure. I think it's very important. Very important.
And then another part in terms of focus is, what are you selling? It was really interesting. Somebody messaged our recruiter the other day and said, what would you advise? I want to do well in Dubai. What's your number one advice? And my broker said, focus on an area. And that girl replied, she's like, what do you mean? Like an off-plan or Dubai as an area? This is not focus. Focus, because obviously we do a lot of secondary in Dacia, is focus on an area that you're truly passionate about and don't be diverted into any other areas. Because if you focus on Dubai Marina and then all of a sudden you have an exclusive listing, I don't know, or not even exclusive listing, any kind of listing in Dubai Hills Estate, let's say, how are you going to give your buyer who inquires on that listing the service that the buyer deserves if you've never sold anything there? So this is what I mean by focus.
Plus, having just one listing in an area is not going to help you ever make a sale. Maybe you might get lucky, but that's what an area specialist is. They always have 3 to 4 different options that they can work with.
Yeah.
You're just going to have one option is really not going to work out.
And I think even with off-plan, you do a lot of off-plan. I think brokers do tend to focus on certain developers, right? Not just do everything and everywhere. So,
like you said, sell what you would sell to your family.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. And that's why I am very focused on the developers that I work with. A couple of the top tier developers. I stay away from the tier 2, tier 3 developers completely.
Exactly.
Awesome. That's cool to know. You mentioned that you had taken over your agency in 2008. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that go? How did you pass through that storm?
Of course, I had a starting point, which I'm very thankful for, to my family. But at the same time, as I said, I was 21 years of age, which is quite young now looking back at things. I didn't think that back then. And I came from a healthcare background. So the year before I started, I was working in the hospital as a dietitian to do my internship. So for me, it was a bit of a shock, especially the time I came in when it was a downward market, a total crash. Clients were so sad. They were calling me saying that, we invested all this money with the developer is gone now. It was all my savings, crying to me. And because I love people and I'm emotionally involved, with them, I felt so bad. It was really, really hard.
Crying.
The lady was like crying to me on the phone. Yeah, no, but it was, for me, it was honestly very, very, very difficult. And then also coming into the company as, in a managerial position at such a young age, people did not, I had to earn my respect. People initially were shocked, what's this kid doing there? But then as soon as they saw, but imagine, in charge. But then as soon as they saw what I was able to do and what I was, how I was working, I gained respect of the team. That was important. And then for sure, I think the best thing that happened is me meeting my husband, James, through work. And he really, really started helping me. And this is what people need to realize it's never a one-man show.
Never.
It's the people around you.
Never a one-man show.
So I might be like on social media because my husband doesn't want to be on social media, but you know, there's a huge part, obviously, of work that goes behind the scenes, not just with my husband, but with the rest of the team, managers, agents, everything. It's one big operation, and everybody has something to do with the success of the business.
So you managed to pass through the shitstorm of 2008, 2009, 2010.
I cried a lot.
With the clients, I'm assuming.
I definitely went through hard times. So the point of, if people want to take anything away from the journey, is that, like, for example, if you're going through a hard time now, I know there's many agents out there who are struggling right now. You know, not everybody's making huge amounts of money. As long as you believe in what you want, you focus, you work hard. The bad times, I wanted to swear, but I forgot that we can't swear, especially in Ramadan.
I almost did. So.
Yeah, exactly. The bad times will pass, and they're going to be worth the good times that are ahead of you.
Mm. It's interesting. I mean, I know, like you mentioned, a lot of agents are still having a hard time. And that's what, whenever agents approach me, I tell them, listen, you want to get into real estate, get into it. Try to have a decent amount of savings. And you calculate everything and then multiply that by 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that worst case scenario, you can still handle one of those storms, you know? That's interesting.
Yeah, so people think being in real estate is easy. They're going to make so much money fast. And maybe there was a certain period where it was that easy, but definitely right now I think the market is saturated with agents. So you need to make sure you stand out from the rest somehow, which I really think it's about being ethical, honest, etc., knowledgeable. A lot of people don't know what they're talking about.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, it really reminds me actually of 2008, how taxi drivers were selling real estate.
I do remember that phase.
So don't be a taxi driver. Yeah, and be ready that there's a chance that you will not earn significant amount of money for at least 6 months.
I know.
And
for
also
sure.
when people do go for a job interview, sometimes the company oversells and overpromises, right? I think it's really important that you think with your head.
Every company does that.
Like,
at least the ones that I've dealt with in the past.
Like, I think what makes that shit different is that we're always clear from the beginning that have the savings and, you know, be prepared for the worst for a few months.
No, for sure. I mean, the first few months are not as easy. I have seen a lot of agents struggling day in and day out. And I feel their pain because the company has promised them all the gold and diamonds in the market, but we know it's not easy in terms of when it comes to doing brokerage.
There was a company that was promising the recruits that they're going to be driving a Lamborghini in 6 months.
Wow.
So imagine how...
Sign me up.
Yeah, imagine how bad the agent feels after 6 months when he's still driving a Tida.
Oh man, no, I've heard some of those stories. I have. Any particular points, like, you know, you said specialist, focus on an area, anything else people should concentrate on when getting into this industry, or even experienced agents?
It's actually a pain point of mine from today. People sometimes make a big deal, like, you know, close a significant amount of commission, and all of a sudden they become too big for their boots.
Holiday mode.
Yeah, or that's it. I'm not dealing with the 3 million apartment anymore.
Oof.
I'm not going to deal with this property. I'm not going to do a rental.
Please pass them my contact.
Yeah, bear in mind that they recently started in real estate. What I can tell is that sometimes your smallest contact, which is even a short-term client, as an example, or a rental client, can become your biggest investor.
Yes.
Sometimes your landlord that you've done a good service with to rent his or her property will become your biggest investor. So, of course, if you're super busy and you don't have time, it's much better to turn down the business and refer them to your colleague who will do a good job. But if you're not busy, like some people, and just to say, oh no, I don't want this 5K rental commission or whatever, especially when you, like, you know, you're not doing any business, I think it's stupid. Like, I would not turn down 5K.
No, I know what you're saying. When an agent makes a big transaction, which is probably either, I mean, he must have put in the work probably, or maybe a first-time deal, or he got lucky or whatever, and then they become too big for their shoes. Yeah, I've seen those as well.
But the past 12 months, I've seen so many big deals in our company come from very small beginnings. And the point of my story is just grow your network, especially if you're new to Dubai. The more people you will meet, doesn't matter if it's through sales, rentals, whatever, the more people you will meet, the more deals you'll close in the future.
For sure. Networking is the most important thing in our industry, I think.
And I think a lot of the times people forget that.
No doubt. Everybody wants to have their own business. What can you say about that if an agent wants to start his own business?
You know what really, really annoys me? Actually, it happened today as well.
Okay.
Good that I spent time in the office.
Live example. All right, let's hear that.
An agent closes commission, right? So today I passed a really good lead to one of my brokers. That came from Instagram, actually, like a really good lead. And I said, oh, how did it go? And he's like, yeah, great. I said, what referral am I getting? As a joke. And he goes like, well, you take 50% anyways. That's your referral. And for me, that makes me so mad because I'm like, no, the 50% is just going to pay the company expenses. So what you have to remember is that business owners do not take the 50%. They have all the overheads to pay for.
For sure.
And most of the companies, I think, have 10 to 20% profit margin. So what was I saying? Yeah, so don't think that it's that easy, that you're a business owner and that's it. You're just going to keep all your commission. There's a lot of headaches. There's a lot of investment that goes into it, especially if you want to scale. So what was your question? What advice would you give?
What if someone wants to open their own business? What would you...
keep in mind that you will be... When I first started in real estate, I was a broker as well because I had a small team. I didn't have to be in the office all the time. So I was closing my deals. But then as soon as the team became 20 agents, I couldn't deal with the clients anymore.
True.
So... so keep in mind, if you are going to start to manage a team, it will be very difficult for you to also close your own deals. And then you have to figure out what's going to bring you more money, basically.
For sure.
Managing a team or just closing your own deals. So sometimes being a broker in a company is much less headache and more money than running your own business.
I agree with you. I had started my own shop back in 2008 as well. And I shut shop in about 6 to 8 months. And this is... probably after a good 10-15 years that in August last year, I opened up my own license once again because I know what goes behind. I mean, it's not easy to run shop. It may look all...
glamorous.
Yeah, all gold and diamonds, but it ain't. It ain't. Your costs are high as hell. So, okay, that's interesting
sometimes, many times actually when the market wasn't this booming and when sometimes you don't break even. Sometimes you lose money, right?
For sure.
And then you see like the agents making huge amounts of money. Like, the good ones are always making money, Many times I thought, should I just be a broker again? And I'm sure like you did.
Because rent is always due.
Yeah.
Salat and diwa need to be paid. Exactly. Salaries have to be paid. There are a lot of costs involved that not a lot of people understand. I am seeing it once again while I'm setting up my shop.
And the extra things that distract you from selling. That go into running of your own business.
That is why I'm trying to keep my team as small as possible. I can focus on what I do. So I generate the income. Of course, hopefully one day I reach your level and the other guys' level as well. But at the moment, I'm just keeping it simple, focusing on this and then keeping my business on at the same time. Like you said, once your team grows to over 10, 20 agents, it becomes difficult to manage.
I think it's impossible.
In your opinion, what would you say is the future of the secondary market, and why did you choose to focus on the secondary over anything else?
Well, prior to 2008, of course, there was mostly off-plan market.
I
think there was only JBR to sell or something like that. But then when the 2008 crash happened, there was actually no off-plan.
Correct.
So when I entered Dubai real estate, it was secondary. It was mostly rentals because market was, people were scared to invest.
Dubizzle.
Yes.
Dubizzle days. I remember those days so well.
Yeah, and people were selling... credit notes in developers' offices.
Nafil especially.
So that's all. There was mostly rentals, credit notes, and that's it. So I had no choice of off-plan. And that's how we grew the team from doing secondary market. So I didn't really choose it. It chose me. But the future of secondary, come on. This is the future. It's the present, it's the future, because that's what people want. Off plan, it's a lot of investors, right? Or perhaps, people want to have a payment plan for a future bigger house. But right here, right now, if somebody needs a place to live, it's ready properties.
For sure.
So I think the future, it's actually going to grow much more because there's more developments handing over.
Very soon.
Yeah, so even, I know you do a lot of, in Schobach Heartland, there's going to be so many units handing over, villas, etc. So Arabian Ranches 3, so many communities. So I think secondary market is just going to grow and grow. What do you think?
I think so, yeah, for sure. I mean, this wave is not going to stay forever.
Which one? Like
the wave of the off-plan buyers. I mean, it's not something that's permanent. I mean, we're all jumping around, flying high, enjoying our stuff every day, but eventually land's going to become scarce. People are going to move to the resale market. And then you're going to have to go further out of Dubai. And that's not a product I like to sell personally. So, secondary market probably is a good thing that agents should tap onto and have something on the side as well.
For sure.
Yeah. Even I tell a lot of people that, hey, whatever you sell to your investor, build your rapport with them in such a manner that tomorrow when they want to resell or they want to rent it out, you're the first number that comes to their mind. They call you so that you can manage their property, and then you have another source of income.
And imagine what a lot of these new agents are doing. They're promising the client that they will be able to resell the unit they just bought with 30% premium, that they're going to be able to rent it with 15% annual rent return, etc. And what happens after when the client actually says, okay, resell it for me? And they're like, cannot. And then these clients really lose reputation. And I know agencies here in Dubai who have lost their reputation because of such things. I would never, ever, ever promise to my client that they will make profit on a property. All I can tell them right now is that this is a good deal.
It is a good deal.
Compared to the market value, the transactions. And yes, Dubai is in an upward market. But I always say I cannot promise you what will happen in a year. Because I've seen it happen in 2008.
For sure.
So I think what's most important about real estate is not the short-term gains of flipping it with a 30% premium. Real estate is a long-term investment.
For sure.
You have to look at it from a way that when it's handed over, it's in a good location, you'll be able to rent it and you'll be able to resell it. Not necessarily with the profit, but at least to resell it, and it's going to be in demand.
I think at the end of the day, what's important is that your property generates cash flow even in a bad market. And that's the right kind of properties that one should consider rather than just going in for the quick flip.
100%.
I think I even made a piece of content about it.
Tell me. Are you going to find it?
About the whole 40% profit. And you can buy it and you can flip it. And I know I got a lot of beef for it, but, I don't really care. So
I don't think, if it's not in the contract that they're guaranteeing this kind of return, sometimes there's, I think there was 5 or 7, something they guarantee, the rental return dukes. That's in the contract. But
correct.
How can an agent guarantee anything?
Can't guarantee.
Who's been in Dubai for 2 months?
I'm glad you pinpointed that out. Let's see, where are we? Let's say there's a new agent in the secondary market who wants to get into the secondary market. What are the basics that you can tell him or her that he should start with?
Find an area that you're truly passionate about, that you do love, because I think it's much easier to sell something when you're passionate about it and you truly believe in an area. But at the same time, I have a lot of brokers who are totally new to Dubai come and say, I'm passionate about the luxury market. I want to be selling these $10 million villas, $70 million. I want to be selling those too. But I think the brokers who are in the luxury market, they've taken also a long time to grow their name here.
Of course.
And clients who are selling these 70, 100 million dirham properties already, have a network of brokers who have a track record of what they've sold.
For sure.
So to anybody new in the market, start small, gain the trust of people, because maybe you will sell a 1-bedroom in JLT, as an example, for 700K. You don't know what else that landlord has.
True.
As soon as you prove yourself, as I said, just start building your network, even from small steps. My first deal in Dubai real estate, well, after 2008, the first one was big, it was Palm Jebel Ali. But after, when I came back after the crisis, was 1,500 dirhams commission.
True.
I was eager just to do any kind of deal. So I think any new broker in Dubai should just be eager to close a deal for the sake of closing a deal.
For sure.
So I always say, if you want to get a lot of leads, start with lower end communities. You will learn, you will build your network, and then start growing. That's my advice.
Yeah, I know. I mean, rentals is always good. You never know what that landlord has in his pocket, which he'll only expose once you've done one or two of his deals. And he says that, okay, this guy is doing a good job. You know what? Let me give him my third apartment, my fourth villa, and my fifth unit. And you never know where you might end up.
I want to tell you a story about being ethical.
Please.
I was doing the calculations for commission, checking the calculations for commissions in the end of the month. And I saw that one deal that we booked on the board had 10,000 dirhams more. So I reach out to the account and I say, why is there 10,000 dirhams more? And he's like, the client made a mistake and just issued us 10,000 more. And so he was ready to pay like the 50-50 split with the broker. I said, this is not right. If the client has paid more, let's return the money. So I call the agent. I say, please return the money to him. And she's like, oh, what if he's going to get upset that we calculated it wrong or we accepted it? I said, no, the opposite. If you will return him the money, I was doing it for the right thing, but then he will actually be thankful to you. And guess what happened? She called. She says, so sorry, there was a mistake in your calculation. Where can we send the 10,000 dirhams back? Guess what he said?
Keep it.
No, he said, here, but this is why I respect you, because you're honest and trustworthy.
Ethical.
I want to buy something more. And just now he signed the contract for 12 million. Another property.
Amazing. Was it off plan or secondary?
We do secondary. But it's giving me goosebumps now. Secondary because commission.
It's nice.
And in my heart that time, I'm like, I cannot keep this money.
No, I mean, for sure. If you look at the smaller picture, that's all that's going to be in front of you all the time, right? Imagine. You have to look at the bigger picture. You have to be ethical. And you won that client for life.
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking that far back. It's just like straight away when I saw it, I'm like, we have to return the money. And this is what happened.
You've got that client for life. Whatever it is that he wants or his circle wants is coming to Dacha. You know that.
So
yeah, that's cool. Awesome.
The point
Hats
is
off.
like, yeah, don't look at the short picture. Do what's right and like do it from your heart, from a good place.
When did this happen?
The deal today.
Oh, really? Where's the party?
Let's go.
Okay, awesome. It's an interesting question. Now, I know you do secondary. Are there any things that your agents should know or to say or to do to pursue a client into buying something?
Persuade.
Persuade. Sorry.
I didn't write those questions. I'm just assuming. I think the worst thing you can do is use any kind of tricks to force a client to buy something. You should provide the client with the facts, with the correct information about the product. If it's an investment, why it's a good investment, why does this location have a good potential for growth. But you should never try to manipulate the client into buying something. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm sure there's many like closing techniques. I think there's many even developers who are built on a way to push the client to buy, brainwash the client to buy.
I know.
In the end, the client feels like he's been cheated, feels like crap, right? He will not deal with the developer again, and the developer loses value, like the reputation. From secondary market, I don't feel it's like that, because clients on the secondary market know what they're buying. You can easily see, the statistics of what's sold, what's available online. So,
but it's not, I think, for all of them. Not all the clients know what they're buying, even in the resale market. I've seen some agents put out things like, even if you buy it at this price today, where you have an appreciation of over 80%, looking at how the market's been trading, say, since 2018, 2019, and they still sometimes promise that there's still scope for growth. I mean, you bought something at 1.2, you're hitting a threshold of 3 million today. I don't think there's much room above that. What do you have to say about that?
For growth?
Yeah, I mean, let's say I bought something in off plan for about 1,200,000, 1,300,000. Today, 3-4 years down the line, I've reached a price point of, say, 3 million dirhams.
Okay, wow.
How much more do you think I can go above that?
This is why I say, like, don't buy real estate with thinking that you're going to make a flip. buy it with the intent that you're going to be getting rent return or whatever in the next coming years, or perhaps you're buying a villa to renovate and sell at a higher price. That makes sense.
That's fair, yeah.
So I think how I work with my clients, I provide them the facts, historical information, recent transactions, how much they can get for rent. And I think with a lot of short-term holiday homes, if it's a good location, you can get up to 15% rent return. So it's a really good investment. It's a safe investment property, ready property. Look what's happening in banks. Look what's happening in the stock market, crypto market. The only thing that hasn't like bounced down is the real estate.
For sure. And
gold.
And I'm always shooting a lot of content when it comes to crypto as well as NFT. That is one thing I just don't get. I'm sure there's science behind it or logic behind it, but my 40-year-old brain can't just understand the concept of the NFT. But anyway, that's another topic. What would you say would be the disadvantages compared to off-plan for secondary market?
For brokers?
No, just the features or disadvantages in comparison to ready and non-ready product.
I can tell you why I love the secondary market is because, first of all, secondary market is built on locations that are premium. There's no more land available. Well, little land, right? Such as Palm Jumeirah, Dubai Marina, even villa communities that I love, Jumeirah Islands, the ones close to the beach, there's no more plots. So that's one huge advantage, location. Like you said, developers now have to go out in the desert. You can see the property. Because there's a lot of the time surprises with off-plan.
True. Provided it's a wrong developer.
Oh my God, there was even one in the beachfront, one-bedroom apartment, and it was a really good price. So James went to go see, if it's nice, because we wanted to buy it as an investment. The bedroom window was pointing at another wall. And that's a very reputable developer.
The bedroom what?
Window. Like when you open the window, it was like directly, I don't know, maybe 50 centimeters looking onto a wall.
You mean the next building?
Yeah, I don't know what it was like a podium level unit.
Ah.
Anyways,
okay.
what I'm saying, sometimes there could be isures. Even with the best developers.
Stay away from podium units.
What else is interesting? Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Of course, you can buy a very good unit with a developer, but
sure.
Many times there could be surprises. When you buy a ready property, you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
Prices right now for ready properties are sometimes lower even than off-plan, correct?
Some areas, yes.
So you can buy, especially if you can get finance, straight away start, getting rent, etc.
Okay.
What are the advantages of off-plan? You're getting ready property. If you don't have cash flow, you can have a payment plan. What else is an advantage of off-plan? You tell me. Let's have a debate. That would be interesting.
I think they want to know more about you.
No, I want to know about you.
Let's give me the most difficult parts about the secondary deals. What are the troubles you face, or what are the issues that you have to deal with?
Are the brokers?
No.
Are the brokers in the secondary market? Tenants. It can be tenanted. So, for example, right now, a lot of buyers want a vacant unit because they want to move in. So if it's tenanted, there's laws in place that you cannot kick a tenant out. You have to give them 1 year notice. So that a lot of the transactions stop because of a tenant being in the property. A landlord's listing the property with so many agents.
Oh man.
Agents snaking you, going behind your back.
Oh man.
So many. But the thing is, with off-plan, it's the same. I used to get really upset and emotional about issues that I faced in real estate. And I called my mom one day. I'm like, Mom, I'm so upset this and that happened. She said, Alicia, you've been doing this for 10 years, back in the day. You should know by now that real estate is one of the dirtiest markets in the world. Because I think there's big money at stake.
It is.
Especially now with people coming to Dubai who are totally new, they're desperate for a deal. They will do anything.
I know. I've seen that happen a lot.
And this is what I like when a broker has been in Dubai for a long time and has a reputation to upkeep. I think they will not do this to you. But it's usually the new brokers who really stab you in the back.
Yeah, I have seen, and I wonder sometimes. I used to know a gentleman back in the day who could find out the villa number by looking at the pictures, placing it on Google Maps somehow, and then knowing exactly which unit number this was.
Okay, but at least he's being smart and being a detective from the ads. You know what other
Yeah.
agents do? They have an international number.
Okay.
They message the broker,
Uh-huh.
pretend that they're a buyer,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. You give them the unit over WhatsApp. So don't give units over WhatsApp to anybody. Then they
Yeah.
go and give the unit to, I don't know, their colleague and close it behind your back. We've got a few agents doing this to us.
Wow. But do you give out the unit numbers?
I don't know what happened in this instance. Usually no, but
Yeah, I
sometimes
mean-
the agent is new or maybe they built a good rapport and we found out that agent went and closed it behind our back.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's so messy, so disgusting.
Because sometimes even when I call agents up,
Mm-hmm.
obviously first I ask them if they're okay to work with another broker, but then sometimes I have clients that want ready product. So I have to let them know that, hey, listen, I'm a broker myself. I'm looking for this listing that you have. Give me the indication between which floor to which floor is it. Because sometimes clients want to know, is it a high floor, is it a low floor? And I'll tell them, I'm like, you know what, between 20th, 30th floor, 30th to 40th floor, just give me that heads up so I can tell the client accordingly. But I've seen all this happen a lot. Like people
Yeah,
just
so
go
this is
behind
what,
the
for
back.
For me, I really don't like that. What's that noise? I really don't like the...
Is that a fire alarm?
Are we okay, guys?
Should we run?
This is what I think is hard in the real estate game in general. I know in developers' offices, some agents go and follow your client to the toilet and stuff like that.
Oh man, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Once happened to me, one of my regulars.
Yeah.
Now with this client, I'm really okay because he's been with me for a few years now. And we were at a very, one of my favorite developers' office. I'm sure you've guessed it already.
Shoba.
And I go and take a seat. And he's like, I need to go use the bathroom. I'm like, okay, go ahead, man. Doesn't matter. He comes out 5 minutes later and he's like, these brokers giving me their cards even in the bathroom. What do they think of themselves? I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do with it? He's like, leave it.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, that's the thing.
yeah.
That's the thing. I've seen it happen live in front of me, But
What was the question? What's the hardest part about being a real estate agent?
what is the most difficult part about the secondary market? And then,
Of course, there's so many other challenges. Trying to get listings, especially now that the owner is allowed to list only with 3 brokers.
In a way, that's good.
No, it's good, but I'm just saying challenges. It's very
It is. It is challenging, no doubt.
Yeah, so...
But then owners are still listing with multiple anyways, aren't they?
Unless, I don't know, we do everything by the book. We have the permit
I
number,
have seen
et cetera,
some
yeah.
people list with some random permits and I don't know what. Is that
I think
workable?
land department, I was trying to clear this up. Just today I got an email that every listing needs to have a QR code. Don't know how that's going to be different from the permit number. So yeah, I think they're really trying to...
No, but I like the
So-
initiatives they're taking. This was much needed from the Dubai Land Department side that you only allow 3 agents to list it, even though I know a lot of agents list a lot of fake listings. But I think it also helps show the prospect that there isn't that much product available.
Once I wanted to do a case study on prices of 1-bedrooms and shorelines. So I go on Property Finder and I see all these units, 2 pages were the same unit.
I know.
So then me as a buyer, if I wasn't educated, I would think that there's so much stock available on the Palm Jumeirah.
I can negotiate with all 20 of them.
Exactly. And then the seller thinks that there's 20 buyers available because all 20 agents start calling and increases the price.
Right, that's what used to happen back in the day, that everyone used to think that, either there's too much product or there's so much demand. And
I was working with a friend client of mine recently, and he said, okay, what's your advice? I said, please, because I saw that he was viewing with a few agents. I said, please don't put an offer on the same villa with multiple brokers.
for sure, you'd ruin it.
But what happened is because he was working with quite a few brokers, it still happened, and he ruined it.
He ruined it. Yeah, I'm sure. Any strategies you could recommend to newer brokers coming in that they should create, or how to read a client or how to understand a client in terms of when interacting with one, not just
You
about
know what my
closing the deal?
strategy would be? Is don't overthink it and take chances. What I notice is a new broker comes and let's say he gets a lead and he's like, maybe it's an agent, maybe it's that, maybe it's this. I said, you have no freaking leads. You're sitting on your butts. Just go. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Even if it's an agent, at least you gain experience.
For sure.
So my strategy is like, and some people come, they just really, really overthink. I'm like, just go with the flow, take as many chances, build networks. Because I've met my husband by doing an agent to agent. And he was actually trying to steal a unit from me.
Oh, tell us about that.
So back in the day, there was 2 British-owned companies, you cannot say names, I think, that were known for, like, you know, stealing units and stuff. So James worked with one of them, and he calls me and he's like, hi, for a really good listing of mine, I see you have this unit, blah, blah, blah. What floor is it on? I say, you think I'm stupid? I would never give company A or company B a unit number. I wasn't born yesterday. And he's like, ooh, I like this girl. Yeah, so that's how we met. He did try to steal the unit from me, but then we did close the unit, by the way. The point of the story is, don't be afraid of other agents.
True.
If you don't have direct buyers calling you and you have some good agents calling you,
True.
close deals.
Entertain the other agent. Doesn't matter.
Sign an agent-to-agent agreement. And if somebody is going to snake you, for example, they will find a way to do it. At least you learned. And I think, I would like to think that there's much more good people out there than bad people.
For sure.
So,
sure.
yeah, so somebody new, do not, okay, take sales courses if you want and stuff, but just, I think it will become natural. The more deals you will do, the more people you will meet.
No, for sure. I mean, the more you get out as well.
Did you take any sales courses?
None yet.
You see? Like, okay, I did read sales books and stuff, but I really feel like it's a people's business.
It is a people's
And
business.
as long as you're doing the right thing, giving the right advice, and not trying to manipulate the client, you don't need any tricks up your sleeve.
True. I agree on that. I think as long as you give out good, valuable, straightforward information that is existing, and you do a little bit of research about whatever it is you're giving out, if it makes sense, the guy across the table will transact. There is no tricks, there's no sales course, there's no... Okay, yeah, there's strategies on how you want to work with the client, what you want to show, whatever, but if you do these 3-4 things that I mentioned, I don't think work is that difficult.
You know what I've always done? Like, as I said, I started from 21 years of age with no experience in sales. All I've ever done was be totally honest.
No doubt.
I just portrayed to my client any information. Like, if the seller or whatever was playing tricks, I would tell the buyer. If something was going wrong, I would tell the buyer. You know what I mean? And this is how I just...
Because I think during that process, you're gaining a lot of trust.
Yeah, people just want transparency.
Maybe you transact or you don't transact that client by giving him all that information, but you're really building trust. Maybe not that unit, maybe the next one.
Exactly.
He's still going to buy with you. He's going to be like, this guy or this girl is so honest. Like, I like what they're doing. They're making sure that I don't lose more or I don't pay more than I'm supposed to.
And honestly, like, so many clients now, I'm remembering back, like, it's a trip down memory lane. So many clients stayed with me.
No doubt. No doubt. How many managers do you have in your team?
Sales manager. Well, James is, like, obviously leads the team. And then we have...
James is not a manager. I'll let him know.
Yeah, I know. Like, he leads. And then we have 2 managers for each office. Sorry, 1 manager per office, so 2 managers.
How many offices do you have?
2 offices so far.
Oh, I know the one in Marina Plaza. Where's the second
there's
one?
2. One is on the 21st floor, one is on the 24th floor.
Nice. I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you have 2 managers.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of sales managers, obviously. We have
I'm talking
other kind
sales
of managers.
managers.
Yeah.
What do you keep in mind when hiring a manager for your team?
Interesting. Because Daryl has been with us for like 7 years now. So I think it's really important that the person, of course, understands the process of the Dubai real estate market, that he has experience in Dubai real estate market. I see these managers now who've never worked in Dubai real estate. So how are they going to help an agent solve a problem? Or, I don't know, prepare a contract, especially in secondary market. I don't know, off-plan maybe is different, right? Off-plan is just hardcore sales. This is, I'm talking about secondary market.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not doing hardcore sales.
But, you know, like, that's like, you just have to sell the product. In secondary market, it's so much more difficult because every deal is different.
For sure.
It's such interpersonal... personal scenarios from whether it's a buyer, tenant, landlord, you know, sometimes, you know, seller doesn't want to move out in a certain time. Like, there's so many things, you know, because it's people's homes that we're dealing with.
For sure.
So I've been in, how long already in real estate? 15 years or whatever. And every day still I'm learning new scenarios. So for a manager, it's really important that he or she actually been through this, been a broker himself.
Very important.
Yeah, because how can they teach the person what to do if he doesn't know, right? Hopefully been a successful broker.
Otherwise, you're not hiring the guy, man.
But it's so difficult to hire a manager because successful brokers make more money than managers.
Very true. Because you're asking them to stop doing what they were doing.
Yeah, and you cannot be a manager of 30 people
if you want
and
to
also
do
continue
brokerage.
selling.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, most important thing for me is experience, to be able to guide the person, and interpersonal skills, because you will deal with so much drama, people crying,
I'm
people
sure.
beating each other up.
I'm sure. So then that brings up the next question.
Have I ever beat anybody up? No.
I'm not going to ask you that here. How do you make sure your team works together?
Easy question, actually. When we hire people, I think it's super important that they fit the culture of the company. I think what makes Dacia what Dacia is today is the culture. We're like a family feel, very friendly environment. You know, we're all on the same path. So I think the person that when we hire somebody, they have to fit that culture, so that when they come in, they're already, you know, they feel at home. Okay, now I forgot the question. What?
How do you make sure your team works together?
Yes, so they feel at home and they feel like they're on the same vibe with the people. We have teams, like, you know, we have like Dubai Marina team, Palm team. So those teams meet frequently, you know, share their stock, their buyers, etc. So that makes people work together. They all need to be on the same wavelength. They all need to be professional, because if you bring somebody unprofessional in, straight away that person, like, first of all, it drops the standard of our company, and that person feels like an outsider towards the team. And yeah, of course, we do like different team building events, etc.
Okay, that's cool. What are your sources of information when it comes to understanding what's going on in the market, changes, analytics, trends, what's new, what's not?
I think the best source of information would be the brokers, the people who are actually on the field. And I think brokers learn sometimes more from the actual clients, buyers, sellers, than they do from their managers or newspapers or whatever. So I love spending time with my brokers and learning what's going on, what challenges they face, etc. But then in terms of actual sources, of course, you have Property Monitor for transactions. That's where I always go to see what transactions happened. The other website, I shouldn't be promoting, right? It's also very good, because you can actually see the history of every unit, like what the unit is rented for, at what prices it's been sold, etc. For me, that's like super valuable. Newspapers? Is that even like a good source?
I shared a few links with them that I got from someone I look up to in this industry. He was very kind enough to spare an hour of his time. He's also been on one of these. I think I had already recommended him, maybe. And he shares some really, really good, insightful information, not just about the local market, but also international
like
markets.
reports.
So I think if anybody wants it, they can get it from Julia or whoever.
Okay,
if
yeah.
you'd like, I can share it with you later on. How do you stay organized? Time management, any hacks?
I'm not good at it.
Me too. Should I move on?
But Google Calendar really, really helps.
Yeah.
So now I started scheduling every single thing in. Before, when the team was smaller, I would just keep everything in my mind. And now I'm like, if I don't write it in, I forget. So definitely Google Calendar. I schedule in my workouts. I don't schedule in my lunch, because that I'll never forget. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I use the calendar as well. I mean, that's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Social media presence. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? How has it been? What has been up? How did you manage? What did you do? Etc. Etc.
The best advice I received was from Spencer Lodge. I think you know Spencer Lodge. He came to our office for a chat, and then he's like, Alicia, why aren't you on social media? And he's like, you have to. It's the future, blah, blah, blah. I think this was 2018 or something like that. Or 2019, don't remember exactly. And I'm like, okay, he inspired me so much. Like, it's amazing when you meet a person, just in 1 hour, they can change their life. So that's the one thing he told me to go and do. And I've opened up my social media from that time and started being active. And I think it was one of the best things I've done for the business. not for myself. Yes, I do get leads, but in terms of my own personal brand grew Dacia's brand.
True.
So for me, that was really powerful. And not only now from a business perspective, from my own perspective, it gave me confidence. I was not confident before to speak on camera. None of us were, right? I met many friends, like, through social media who were, let's say, Farida and stuff, just because we followed each other. Now we're like very close friends. Many good friends I met through social media, and of course clients. But for me, yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I love it. It takes up a lot of time, but...
It does take up a lot of time.
I do love it.
But it's a lot of fun.
So much fun.
And
we met over social media even.
We did, yeah, for
exactly.
sure. For sure. Awesome. Now, while I was having iftar with the K9 team that does our content, how does one stand out from the crowd of agents overflocking social media today? What would be your opinion?
In the Dubai real estate market, I think right now a lot of agents are really focusing on off-plan. Sorry to say, like the ones that are good on social media, I feel there's a lot of off-plan. I didn't see... No, the only person I did see who was really good, and I spoke about him, was Mr. Dubai Hills Estate.
Yes.
He is the only one till now that I remember who done secondary market area focus so well.
That's true.
And I'm yet to see a specialist in the secondary market in the community do social media as good as he did. What I mean by that, if people don't know it, is Gary, his name is, he did obviously property tours, but which is sales. A person doesn't want to be sold to. Person wants to be informed. So what he did that was amazing, of course, he showed a bit of his family life. He used to do community guides. So if there's a new nursery opening up, he would do a guide.
I know.
He would do a tour. He would do certain discounts in the area.
I've seen that, yeah.
Nobody does that. They're just sell off plan. New project, new amazing project. I don't care. If I want an off plan project, I will call an agent I trust, like Zohab, and he will guide me. Now, as an example, right?
Oh, I thought you were genuine.
No, I will though. I will not have fun. Joking. Yeah, so like they're constantly like giving you information about new projects, and I don't think it brings value.
It doesn't. Even I've kind of slowed down doing the whole property tour thing more than just try to put out general information. Of course, it's not as focused as Mr. Dubai Hills is, but I think I don't need to showcase anything to a client because he already has the information before I even know about it. Either directly from the developers or directly from the other agents or whatever, and your pocket clients will always call you first, like, hey, I got this from this guy, what do you think about it?
But at the same time, the only value, like, I don't know, the only thing I see people explaining about Dubai real estate is the golden visa, 750k investment to get an investment visa, and not much more. So I think this is what Dubai real estate market is lacking: more information.
Yep.
More value.
Information is
but
very
at the same
important.
time, I think we're so careful in terms of what we say.
Another thing that's very important.
I think once you try to be open about something, right, your video was asked to be taken down.
I have till date taken down 4 different videos.
So I feel like in Dubai, sometimes we have to,
And it was the harsh truth about a very big developer, one of the big developers, I would say. And I put something out, and I got a call from the higher management, and this was just one of the videos. And they're like, hey, man, we love your content, we love what you do, blah, blah, blah. Could you do us a favor and please take down that video? I said, why? I mean, it's okay, it's the truth. No, it wouldn't be nice, please take it down. Okay, fine, I'll take it down. And my entire team was flipping. K9 was like, why did you take that video down? I had over 500,000 views in less than an hour. I'm like, yeah, no, sometimes we have to.
Can't mess. Don't mess with the wrong people. Yeah, so sometimes to give transparent information is difficult.
It is.
That's one thing. And another thing, sometimes when you do say something, like I mentioned something before about brokers promising 30% or something, you can't imagine how much hate I got in my mailbox. You know what I mean? Saying, how dare you? We're all in the same ship. Why are you saying this? You're losing face in front of the brokers. All that. Like, I got so much hate just by being honest. Oh my God. Let's check how many people unsubscribe from me now. Sometimes it's harsh to give advice or truth.
My initial days, I used to give out a lot of information as well, and I try to every now and then. I had a lot of brokers call me up, and they're like, oh, why are you informing and educating the client? I said, why the hell not? Like, oh, you know how difficult it already is, and, you know, this is just you giving out so much more information, and it's not going to work easy for everybody else, and this and that. I said, okay, then figure it out. I mean, you're not my responsibility. I'm doing what I feel is right, and I want to give out that information. And I actually had people call me up and tell me that.
And I feel like because Dubai is quite small, right? Everybody knows each other, and especially you're popular on social media. So, yeah, we need to find valuable content to talk about.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do that.
And it's not, I don't mean informative content. Oh, Palm Jumeirah is, 7 kilometers long and has that many villas. That's not the kind of informative content I mean.
No. Let's get a little more serious. What do you...
That was freaking serious.
No, I like this content stuff. You know that. I'm always game to shoot content. And we've shot a few clips together as well.
Very serious ones.
Funny ones too, where you were washing your bag. I don't know why were you doing that. Any big mess-ups you've ever had, and what did you learn from it?
Mess-ups. In real estate.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, it's hard to say. Actually, one of the big things is we bought something in an off-plan project from not a reputable developer.
You made that mistake.
Yeah, it was like such a good deal.
Okay.
Supposed to be, but then it wasn't. Let me tell you why. Can I say it? About it was a project called Dubai Star in JLT. It was under cancellation, and they were selling a 2-bedroom for, let's say, 800,000 or something like this, while at that time 2 bedrooms in JLT were 1.2. So we wanted to quickly buy it and flip it.
Right.
Yeah, 30% on your investment.
Which agent were you dealing with?
In-house. Anyways, 2-bedroom apartment, etc., etc. We checked the contract. It was 2-bedroom. Time for handover. Guess what?
You get a 1-bedroom.
Freaking 1 bed. And then because it was a cancelled project, the new developer, there was issues. The project was frozen for maybe 2 or 3 years. And then when they did hand over, there were so many Jews, they disconnected the AC in the whole building.
Did you mention Dubai Star?
Yeah. Now it's called Priatoni Tower.
Is this from that company back in the day that was really big?
ACI.
Oh, okay. I know about this one.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like exactly like you said. I'm in real estate, and this was my biggest investment. F up, but everything is fine now.
It's okay.
It's worth around now 1.1.
Ooh.
We're renting it for 90K. So we converted it to a 2-bedroom, put a partition. Like everything is fine now, but still it didn't feel good. You know, like you felt really cheated, and this is how I know how clients could feel when they go through something like that.
No, for sure.
It wasn't a nice feeling.
I can understand that. Yeah. How many square foot was it? I'm curious.
Oh, so it on the SPA, which we bought it from, it was 1,200 square feet.
That's a reasonable size.
And now on the title deed, it's 850.
2-bedroom. God damn.
So yeah, so this is why like always be careful and buy from a reputable developer.
For sure, very important.
So yeah, that's one mistake. Another mistake is to go into conflict. Like this is about real estate. To go into conflict with somebody out of ego. Or because somebody hurt you and you want to prove a point, and then you end up like pursuing it legally or whatever. And what I learned from already like 15 years in management is that it burns up more energy.
Not worth the effort.
Not worth the effort. So now sometimes I'm like, you know what, just to pay or whatever, like, you know, just to shut it up and not to waste your energy and things don't matter. Don't put your energy into negativity. Even if somebody like upsets you, maybe like, I don't know, I know people have like issues with conflicts, just with companies, just try to find an amicable solution, and it's always better to end things amicably.
Yeah, no point stressing yourself over it.
And going into the legal system or whatever is just...
No, that's just a lot more headache than anything. I mean, the lawyer's just going to make money, that's it.
Yeah. whether it's personal, whether it's work, anything, try to find the amicable solution. Make love, not war.
Last question, and then we'll end the session. What are your long-term goals for Dacha, and how do you plan to grow and expand your business while making sure what you're doing is done to the highest standard? And yeah, that's it. That was a question, by the way. Sorry, I'm just trying to phrase this in my own.
Yeah.
But I'm a college dropout, so I'm not so good with my English verses.
Long-term goals is, I definitely want to grow. But like you said, for us, it always has been about the quality and not the quantity. My goal was never to like grow super fast, super big. That's not my ambition. I want to feel, I think maybe that's the difference between men and women. Like I wanna do what feels right for me at my own pace, not to stress myself out. When did I have my baby? Like 5 years ago, I had a baby. So, my focus was more on my baby, not the business, etc. So, but we still grew. Right now, we're in the process of a third branch.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, which should accommodate between 30 to 40 agents. So that's the next step. But also, it's funny you asked about manager. So it's really important for us to find the right manager, to find the right people. I always want to grow, but I want to grow strong, not fat.
Yes, that is good to know. That is important as well. I've seen a lot of agencies that grew too big too fast.
It really destabilizes the team, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Because we have such a core team, people who have been with us for 10 years and more. When they see growth, such a big growth, they feel like they're not valuable anymore. And
So
for me,
true.
I never want that to happen.
So true. And I've seen that happen with a lot of agencies. Agencies I have been a part of as well, and I have seen that happen. And brokers, the old ones, really, really feel that, hey, man, I've been here longer. Like, what the hell just happened?
Exactly.
And I think that's not cool.
And for me, it's about finding the right balance. And I think the fact that we do have like the separate branches, it doesn't feel so huge, right? Like a lot of people, when they enter an office where there are 100 people or 200 people in one room,
They feel
really overwhelmed.
Yeah.
With us, I think it's actually a blessing in disguise. It's a bit challenging sometimes with logistics, being
For
separate
sure.
offices.
For sure.
But in a way, it's a blessing in disguise that we're still like, it feels compact.
Just build a staircase, spiral through
Yeah,
your office,
exactly.
up and down.
Yeah, through 3 stories.
So the third one's going to be in Marina Plaza as well?
It's a secret, I'll tell you after.
Oh, okay. Am I going to get an invite?
Of course.
Awesome.
Might
Then-
have a podcast studio there too.
Oh, copycat.
What?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alicia.
you so
We're going to
much.
end the session here. Thank you very much. Have a good night.